Big up Pep Guardiola, because ever since he started speaking out against the atrocities that have been committed around the world, enabled by our governments, the establishment has been gunning for him, telling him to stick to football. Here's what he had to say in response to that.
So when there are calls for you to just focus on football because you're a football manager, you'll still.
Okay, you focus being in journalism as well. You cannot talk about economics because you are not a journalist, especially if it's in economics, right? It has to work in football. Don't talk about that. Don't talk about that. Don't talk about that. Yeah, that's why. They won't remain silent. That is what the world wants, right? Be silent, don't say anything. I think it's completely the opposite.
Pep is absolutely right. He is 100% right. Why should people stay silent about atrocities that are being committed around the world enabled by our governments? If people stayed silent about things that they didn't believe were right, then the world would be an even shittier place. And personally, I prefer the world being less shitty. And I know people are going to bring up who Pep is employed by, and I do think that that is fair criticism when you consider how long those atrocities have been going on for and how long Pep has been employed by Manchester City. However, let's not forget that just because you are employed by someone does not mean that you share all of their views. How many of you have been employed by someone where you haven't always seen eye to eye? It is possible. Also, let's not forget that there has been a lot of heavy lobbying going on in order to ensure that people don't speak out against atrocities. However, people like Pep are starting to recognise the platform and privilege that they have and using it for a good cause, and that is something I think should be commended.